Have you ever dreamed of the perfect getaway, only to find the door slammed shut? In 2025, that dream is turning into a nightmare for many Americans. From once welcoming nations to total diplomatic shutdowns, these 10 countries have officially closed their borders to U.S. travelers. No visas, no exceptions. But what's behind this alarming trend? Is it retaliation, rising global tensions, or something even deeper? Stay with us as we count down the 10 countries where Americans are no longer welcome, right now. At number 10, Afghanistan. Once a hotbed for journalists and humanitarian missions, Afghanistan is now off-limits for Americans. In March 2025, the Afghan government declared that all U.S. visa categories would be automatically denied. That includes tourism, student exchange, and business travel. Not a single exception. Back in 2024, 2,500 Americans applied for Afghan visas. Not one was approved. Sources say it stems from ongoing political instability, a rise in anti-American sentiment, and the absence of a functioning U.S. embassy in Kabul. Even NGOs have been told to cease operations involving U.S. nationals. For Americans, Afghanistan is now a dead end. Number 9. Cuba. Just a few years ago, over 50,000 Americans were soaking up Havana's rhythms, beaches, and vintage cars annually. Now, zero. In early 2025, the Cuban government enacted a total freeze on all U.S. visas. Cultural tours, student exchanges, even medical visits are now off-limits. Cruise ships have rerouted away from Cuban ports. Tour operators are canceling entire travel seasons. Officially, Havana blames reciprocity for long-standing U.S. sanctions. But insiders believe it's a strategic maneuver in an escalating diplomatic standoff. Either way, the once thawing U.S.-Cuba relations have snapped back to deep freeze. Number 8. Iran. As of February 2025, Iran has halted all visa processing for Americans. Not even academics, journalists, or aid workers are being considered. Compare that to just 2 years ago, when visa approval took about 10 days. Now, applications disappear into a black hole. Iranian cultural festivals and conferences are reeling from the absence of American guests. Diplomatic sources point to rising tensions over sanctions, cyber disputes, and regional alliances. Iran isn't just closing the door, it's bolting it shut. Number 7. Libya. Tripoli used to be a stopover for daring travelers and documentary crews. But in 2025, even that sliver of access is gone. On January 1st, Libya enacted a complete U.S. visa freeze. Tour companies reliant on American business have shut down. Hotels are operating at 20% capacity. One major operator reported a 100% drop in U.S. bookings compared to 2023. This isn't just a tourism issue, it's an economic blow to Libya's already fragile recovery. Number 6. North Korea. You probably weren't planning a vacation here, but if you were, think again. In April 2025, North Korea implemented a blanket ban on U.S. citizens. Airlines won't sell you a ticket, travel agencies have removed listings, and even diplomatic visits are on hold. Pyongyang's hardline stance stems from growing military tensions and espionage fears. Previously, a handful of American journalists and aid groups had been granted access. Now, not a chance. North Korea is in full lockdown mode. Number 5. Somalia. March 10th marked a quiet yet dramatic change. Somalia deleted all U.S. visa categories from its online system. That's not a delay. It's a full-on erasure. Aid workers, journalists, diaspora families, everyone is blocked. Local tour guides who once took Americans through coastal ecozones and archaeological sites have seen their livelihoods vanish. There's been no public explanation, only silence. Experts say it may be tied to internal reforms and regional security partnerships. Number 4. Sudan. Another country where visa access has disappeared without warning. In March 2025, Sudan removed the U.S. from its visa list entirely. No announcements, no statements, just gone. For many Sudanese Americans hoping to reconnect with family or contribute to aid efforts, it's a painful new reality. Educational programs and research exchanges have been abruptly canceled. It's a humanitarian freeze, and it cuts deep. Number 3. Syria. In early 2025, Syria shut the last door it had opened to Americans. Tourism was already rare. Now it's impossible. Journalists and aid workers are blocked. Families from the diaspora who dreamed of seeing ancestral homes? Denied. The lack of diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Syria means there's no one to appeal to, no embassy to petition. As Syria tries to rebuild, the absence of American involvement will be felt for years to come. Number 2. Venezuela. In March 2025, Venezuela halted all visa processing for U.S. citizens, and the fallout has been swift. Entire tourism districts have emptied. Concerts and cultural events that once featured American artists have gone dark. Even humanitarian aid has been delayed, rerouted through neighboring countries due to diplomatic gridlock. With no American embassy presence and increasing surveillance, traveling here now poses serious risks, even for those with good intentions. And finally, Number 1. Yemen. Yemen's doors were always narrow for travelers, but now they're sealed shut. In early 2025, its embassy in Washington, D.C. stopped issuing visas to Americans completely. The reason? Ongoing conflict and national security concerns. Even essential missions, medical aid, refugee resettlement, family reunification are stalled. Yemen's skies are dangerous, its ports uncertain. But now, even lawful entry is impossible. For Americans, the connection is cut. So why are so many countries locking out Americans in 2025? Some say it's political backlash. Others point to rising nationalism, security fears, or shifting alliances. In truth, it's likely a mix of all three. But the trend is clear. Global mobility is changing, fast. And for Americans, the travel map is shrinking. Which of these bans surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this report eye-opening, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the shifting global stage. Because in today's world, your next destination could disappear overnight.